That'll be where their messages show up.
Hey guys, is anybody there that can hear us? Can you give us a volume check? Let us know if you can actually hear us. Drop a comment there or something to let us know you can hear us.
I'm sick. We'll just go ahead and throw that out there.
Okay, I'm not scratching my fleas, I'm petting the dog's head. Here's her nose.
2 people.
So give us a thumbs up if you got good volume.
Oh, there's only one person.
So we've had a number of questions asked recently. One of them is about the Volvo. And no, we're still not in the Volvo. Volvo is still in the shop. Still has a blown head gasket. But they wanted to make sure that it was just a head gasket. They ended up disassembling the entire block assembly, pulled the liners and the O-rings out. And now they say it doesn't make any sense just put a head gasket in it because it's torn down so far that they'd just be putting all the old parts back in. But they don't want to warranty the level 3 rebuild, which is basically an in-frame, because they can't guarantee there's not going to be some microscopic crack in the block or in the head. They are trying to push us into spending about 55 grand on a brand new engine. So that's exciting, isn't it, girl? So there's her and her ball. So hopefully we'll have all that resolved and have a decision on which way we're going to go this coming week, if all goes well.
Hello, surfing is my thing. Thanks for joining us.
So thumbs up on volume. Can you hear us okay? If you have any questions, drop them in the comment box. We'll be glad to do our best to answer them.
Number 1 question, I'm his kid.
Yeah, not my
I'm
wife.
his child.
She's my kid. It's a real blessing to get to work with your kids. I was out here with my son before the Paperwork Princess joined me.
Something about reacting to a video. Can you guys quickly react to
a video? Have a reaction request.
when we're not live?
So another question we've got is, do we hire owner-operators? We have several options for owner-operators. It's going to be a lot easier for somebody, if you're interested, to call me and I'll walk you through the steps. We have several different companies that are always looking for owner-operators, depending upon your level of experience, number of years you've had a CDL, different insurance requirements for different companies. So I will be glad to answer any questions that you may have about owner-operators. We're also looking for drivers. It is a 6-figure income annual net take-home job, depending on your level of performance. It is over the road. It is following the money and hauling what pays. It's not hauling all new stuff from a plant in a regional area. There's just not as much money in that for us. So it's all coast to coast, border to border, seeing the country, traveling. Yeah, we see your comment there about using another device. What is the video?
I'm on your channel. I just don't know what I'm reacting to. Come drive for us.
Hey, lots of cash. Come drive. Michael Hayden, thanks for joining. One of the cool things about being an owner-operator out here hauling cars is a lot of our loads are cash pay, so you have access to cash. lot of your paychecks will be in cash. You'll still get a 1099 at the end of the year, but a lot of your paychecks will be in cash, immediately available. As an owner-operator, same thing. You get to keep the cash to pay for fuel, pay for whatever. We also offer a fuel card, so you don't have to use it for fuel, but whatever you need to use it for. Question for you. Yes, she is old enough to drive. She gets asked that all the time.
I'm old enough to drive one. I don't drive this truck because D-Line's insurance won't allow permit drivers on the policy, and I still have my permit because I can't pass the alley dock portion of the test. I passed everything, and alley dock is the last skill you have to pass before they take you onto the driving, and I failed alley dock. So I go back and retake it March 11th. And yeah. Hi, Grandpa. By the way, I saw that you were on here.
Too old and blind to drive. Just want to say hey and keep it up. Easy side down.
Hi, Grandpa.
However, she did drive when we were in the Mac, which there's a video of the Mac on here from back early on. She drove it. It's a 10-speed manual. Drove it like a champ. She just can't back worth a flip. But we're working on that.
Look at what the dog has done to her tennis ball.
Coast to coast, I prefer coast to coast. Coast to coast is my favorite. Trans, thanks for joining. I like the coast to coast because I don't like driving the same road twice, or at least not the next day. And it takes long enough to make these turns that, for me, it's been long enough since I've seen the road that I still enjoy it. My favorite run is northeast, say Pennsylvania, Jersey, Maryland, Virginia area out to Washington, Oregon. Really, I just love that run. I love the mountains. I love it out west. I've driven every major highway in the west, and I just love the mountains. I love driving through them. I'm an old Louis L'Amour fan. First book I ever read was Hondo, and that got me hooked. And ever since then, I've just been a fan of the West. So, but the money is going to the East Coast, picking up loads and bringing out to the West, and then turning around and going back. It's about a $20,000 round trip. It takes, depending on the driver and the specific load, it's 2.5 weeks, sometimes 3. Just depending on how many stops you have, because it's not full loads. You don't pick up one load, haul it all the way to the West Coast and drop it. It's individual picks here and there. Sometimes 2 or 3 at a time. If you've got a family that's moving, we do a lot of military moves, a lot of corporate moves. And even though you go to the same states, you rarely go, or at least you're not back to back to the same dealership. Now, we go to the same dealership quite often, just because that happens to be where our vehicles are going. But it's not like a contract. A lot of it's where a dealer is buying cars from auctions, so we'll pick them up at the different auctions, and it just ends up going to the same dealership we've been to in the past. Once you've done this for a while, we were just sitting at a McDonald's table yesterday evening, and we're talking about how and this is out in Oregon, how we had spent more time at that McDonald's table than we had our own table back home this year, or in the last 6 months. So see a lot over the road.
One of your questions was how long out, and you kind of pick yourself. We've been out 8 weeks, we've been out 15 weeks, we've been out 2 weeks. It just kind of depends on how long you want to stay out.
We leave it up to the drivers. It doesn't. Lance Bartowski, I'll get to that question in just a second.
That's what the Kaufman is.
Yep. Home time, we leave up to the drivers. We have, with D-Line Logistics, we have a budget, as does any company that wants to stay solvent financially. In our budget, we need $28,000 per truck minimum per month gross income to the truck, and that's enough to cover tires here and there, and your basic maintenance. Leave a profit for the company, a good paycheck for the driver. Of course, if you have major breakdowns, then that becomes a problem. But we try to maintain newer trucks where we don't have the likelihood of problems. Of course, if y'all been following this channel, you know we've had quite a few issues with the Volvo, but it's really one issue. It was just a blown head gasket that was misdiagnosed, and those folks were stand-up people down in Wichita Falls, Texas, at the Volvo dealer there.
I need to get a what to them?
They really stood up and made it right to us. I'm not going to go into detail, but I will go back there in a heartbeat, even though they misdiagnosed it the first time, because they stood up, took responsibility for it, and they really tried their best to make it right. So we finally ended up, it's a blown head gasket, but it's a big, long mess of a story on that one, and that's too long to get into tonight. So back to the question.
Wait, this one's quicker. Most of our loads come off of Central, but we have some brokers that we've worked with so much in the past that when they have a vehicle that comes up on a route that we've run for us, they just call us. And I'm the dispatcher for our truck, and then we have another dispatcher, and they just call us if they have something that's on the route that we've run, because we're dependable and get their stuff there and don't damage their stuff, and when we do damage it, we take care of it. But with using Central, like Montway has their cars on Central, but to book their cars you have to go get on Ship Cars. So that's Montway's app. So you just have to go to like the bigger brokers have their own apps that you have to go to the websites for them to get their cars, but they're still listed on Central. So we'll go on Central and we'll find the load we want, and then if they're one of the brokers that has their own website, then we have to go to their website to book the load. So that's the answer. And can you explain to me what a yard jockey is? Somebody.
That's moving trailers around the yard, backing them in, just a lot of backing practice.
No.
You're doing good though. Okay, Lance,
No.
your question. Let me check that again real quick.
Okay, so back to what do you think of a single axle setup, 12K steers, 20K drives with a 6-car trailer?
So if you look back on our channel, you'll find where we were driving the Mack, big gray truck. That was a single axle setup. It was a 6-7 car Kaufman trailer, and it was an ideal setup. The reason that worked so well, even with it being basically a 7-car trailer, is because Kaufman builds a lightweight trailer. I was running in the 18 and 19,000 pound range on my drive axle fully loaded, unless I put something like an F550 and a couple of other pickups on the top deck. And I have beefed the frame up on my trailer to the point where it holds the weight just fine. My tires are the weak point on that trailer at this point, as far as deck space and load capability. But that was a great truck. Made good money with it. We last summer we were $188 shy of 40,000 in 1 month. That was coast to coast, basically Pennsylvania to Washington. It's not quite as flexible as this Cottrell we have, the 5307 we're pulling right now, but because of all the modifications that I had made to that trailer in our shop, it was a very, very flexible trailer. We had a fantastic fabricator at that point that that trailer started life as a 2-axle trailer, and that's just not enough axle, not enough tire to carry that kind of weight. So we upgraded, added the 3rd axle, added 2.5 feet of deck space on the back, and on the back bottom added flip outs, top front, top back, and bottom back, and got it to where we could put 7 cars on it on a regular basis, or at least 3 large on top and 3 small on the bottom. I'm getting over being sick. She's getting it. So I apologize
Besides
for
being
coughing.
away from home, what's the hardest part of dog hauling? It's not no-touch freight. You actually have to get out and work.
Yeah, this is not a steering wheel jockey job, not at all. Some guys like that, some guys don't. So if you're the kind of guy that actually likes to get out and put a little time into and effort and dealing with the freight, get a little exercise, the challenge of putting a jigsaw puzzle together, then car hauling is great. But if all you like to do is drive and you want your loads to be really, really easy, I'm just going to tell you straight up, this is not a career that you'll do well in or that you will excel in. You'll probably survive, or you might get a job with a company that just moves new freight from a factory out to dealerships, and you may like that. Rarely pays as well, and certainly isn't as fun, or at least in my opinion, I would just go absolutely crazy doing that. But different things for different people.
So we asked for questions and we didn't get that many, but I've been talking to 3 or 4 different people, and so I'm going to read some of the questions that I've answered for them for you guys.
Hold this back up. Yes, one more question.
No, he didn't. He just said something.
Yeah, they're harder to sell, the single axle trucks. So because they have limited ways they can be used. You can't pull a full-size heavy trailer with one, or you've got to be super careful, or you'll end up overweight. I've only been overweight with that thing 2 or 3 times on the drive axle, just simply because of the lightweight Kaufman trailer. It's a fantastic setup for a lighter weight trailer. Or you could pull a smaller trailer, say if you were looking for a 5-car, like maybe one of those 5-car Sun Valley, the low deck trailers. I've got a buddy that has one of those, and he does pretty well in it because he can handle larger units, and he gets most of them from Central Dispatch as well. The only problem is, between the large units, he's having to handle smaller cars, and that's what pulls his numbers down. But even with that, he still does pretty good on them because he knows how to pack the loads in, air tires down if he has to, whatever it takes to get the load to fit on there.
Okay, here we go. Does our company lease town trucks? Yes, but that's a true statement. You definitely do have to worry about weight on the trailer more than the tractor.
All the time. We're 200 pounds overweight right now on our trailer axles, and that was after rearranging the load. We could fix that problem. We're just too lazy. We'd have to offload and turn a couple vehicles around and put engines forward. They wouldn't fit on the trailer quite as well, but it would still be legal. But at 200 pounds over, we're 34,200 pounds when we cross the state scale. I've never been bothered by that. So.
D-Line does lease town, yes. You have to do training for 4 to 6 weeks with a trainer, and then you have to go through a 90-day probationary period to make sure that you're going to be the kind of person that we want to work with. And it's like a 5-year lease, isn't it? So you have to figure out if we're the kind of company you want to deal with for 5 years while you're leasing to own your truck from us.
Yeah, if you decide you don't like how bossy she is, you may not want to sign the lease.
I just want you to follow the rules. How come you don't run 4-tire axle? What?
Because on the Cottrell we do. On the Kaufmans are designed a little bit different. They're more like a pickup truck. If you look in the bed of a pickup truck, it has a wheel well. Well, and you can pull a lawnmower in between the wheel wells, but it's got the wheel wells in the way. The Kaufman trailer is designed with wheel wells because the bottom deck is actually lower to the ground. You drive in between the tires rather than all the way up and over them like you do on the back of this Cottrell. I would love to have that as a dually axle type trailer, but it's just not the way it's designed.
Okay. Do we only use 7 cars? Most of our fleet is 7 cars, but we have 1 8-car Cottrell and 1 9-car Cottrell. So we use exclusively Cottrell trailers, though.
Yeah, we are now running exclusively Cottrell. We just like Cottrell. Easy parts availability nationwide. They have a nationwide network of repair places where you can get parts when you need them, whether you're going to install them yourself or have somebody do it. They build a good quality trailer. They are a heavy trailer. I know there's other manufacturers out there a little bit lighter, but we don't have frame problems. We don't have structural cracking problems. They function really well. They're a good looking trailer. They're easy to load, easy to handle. So we've just kind of fallen in with Cottrell, and we like them really well.
It doesn't matter where you live, no. No, it doesn't.
No, take home truck, no matter where you live, within the U.S. obviously, the lower 48.
Everybody I've talked to has asked. Our company is based out of Illinois, but the car hauling division is basically run out of Tennessee because he's the general manager, and we're from Tennessee, so the car hauling gets run out of Tennessee.
It's about an hour north of Chattanooga, Spencer, Tennessee to be exact.
Do we have automatic trucks? All of our trucks are automatic except for 1.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
I will tell you though, I have become a lazy driver. I actually like an automatic
Except for when he's
in
backing
city
up.
traffic, except for when I'm trying to back up, and it's so jerky. Both the Volvo and this T680 Kenworth we're in right now, If you're trying to back up a slight hill, there's no slow. It's go or not. And when you're trying to the problem is with our trailers, with a car hauling trailer, it's like pulling a drop deck, and you've got to have this fifth wheel slid all the way back. We actually have to remount them to where the center of the fifth wheel, the lock on the fifth wheel, is either dead center over the rear axle or about 2 inches ahead of it. That's as far forward as you can go with it. Otherwise, your mud flaps hit the trailer when you turn. So that makes you a long rig to start with, and then we'll have 3 to 6 feet of overhang off the back of the trailer, depending on what state we're in. So it's it makes us really long, and it just makes it a little bit more challenging when you're backing into a hole at some truck stop. So that's what I don't like in automatic. They're not as smooth.
The Southeast is an okay place to be based out of, but I do not suggest running regional as a car hauler because it doesn't make you money. Get out over the road.
Too much competition in the South, and flat land, easy moves, and the freight's cheaper.
How are the roads in Colorado? They suck. I mean, if you watched our 550 video, they suck. Be ready to chain up. Hi, Grandma! Look, it's Grandma. Hi, Grandma.
Hey.
We love you.
Yes, Lance, you're correct. Everyone wants it easy. And because I own a dispatch company that's completely separate from D-Line Logistics, and so I get to see the different management styles for different companies, because when we're dispatching for somebody, we encourage them to do things necessary to make the most money possible, but not everybody listens, you know. So at the end of the month, say we're dispatching for 4 companies, they all have a 7-car trailer. I get to see the numbers, the gross, I don't know what their net is, but I get to see their gross income at the end of each month. And it's amazing how you have 4 identical trailers with 4 very different gross income numbers at the end of the month because of the driver's management style, essentially. Whether it be the area they're willing to run in, what they're willing to haul. A lot of drivers say, I don't want anything that doesn't run. I don't want anything bigger than an F-150. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go here. I don't want this. I don't want that. And the more I don't wants that you put in your list of restrictions for your dispatcher, the less money you're going to make. The bottom line.
Look, I have to say this. I'm a dispatcher and I keep good records.
The more the drivers that make the most money will tell their dispatcher, I can go out for the next 3 weeks, keep me loaded, and then let the dispatcher do their job of following the money and hauling what pays, while you do your job of dealing directly with your customers and delivering the loads. That's where you're going to make the most money possible for your trailer and your company if you're not under D-Line or another company that already has a good reputation on Central. If you're a new startup company, you can definitely make a living. You got to pay your dues for about the first 3 months, getting enough good paying loads from brokers that will dispatch to a new company.
Here we go, Freddie. This was their monthly gross. It's backwards. All right, so $14,795 is what they did without being super picky. It was great. I know that sounds like a terrible number. It's a wedge trailer. Calm down. Not a 7-car.
It's also a wedge trailer with a 26,000 pound weight limit. In other words, no CDL, no apportioned license plate, which to me is absolutely crazy. It's like trying to do this job with a wheelbarrow.
Anyways, he let me do my job this month. Okay, cool. So fast forward to the next month, and he made $11,625. But he canceled 4 vehicles, and the beginning of the month he started off telling me that he didn't want anything bigger than an SUV, like a small SUV, like a Ford Edge. All right, so we're not ignoring your questions, I promise. WYO Trans, what don't you like about car hauling? The customers, because some of them think that their car gets transported on an airplane across America and that it's not going to be dirty when they get it, and some of them think that their car is the only car on our 7-car trailer, and they can be really like overbearing because they want you to be on their schedule and only their schedule, and they don't realize that there's some other people's vehicles on our trailer. Like this trip, we had a gentleman who was very not nice. We got held up because we went to deliver a car and the customer didn't have the money, so we had to sit there and No.
No,
He
Lance,
had to
did
do it
not include
himself.
wash and wax.
This is a different guy
Not
though.
part of the deal.
This is a different guy though. So we delivered a car to a customer and he didn't have the money. So we had to sit there and wait for him to go to the ATM and get the money. Which killed like 2 hours, right? Something like that. I don't
Took a while. Just,
and
most
then
customers are great.
the next place we went to, the car took a little longer to get off the trailer than we thought because it was an in-op with no engine. It is a lot. And then, so the gentleman was very upset that it was going to be 9:30 that evening, but we had told him it was going to be that evening. We didn't give him a specific time, so we were still keeping to our word. And he's pitching this big fit about how, like, we shouldn't be late because of other people and this, that, and the other, and how we were just blaming it on other people and we didn't want to take responsibility. But I personally am not responsible for the fact that that customer didn't have his money when we got there.
And he knew we
Sorry.
were coming and we were on time. And he knew it was a COD. He just waited till we got there to go get his money.
So we get there to get this guy's vehicle and we're an hour out and he cancels on us and tells us to get there between 8 and 9 the next morning. So we get there at 8:57 or some crap. Like, we were in the time frame. And then we ended up waiting until 12:30 for him to get his truck to us. So he killed half of our day. And because of that, we were a day late delivering, which I didn't hear from him about, probably because he knew he delayed us by a day leaving. So it was
And
probably
he's the
his
one that
fault.
was upset at us because other customers had created delays, causing us to be late getting to him.
Did we charge a detention? No, because he was already upset because we were late on pickup because we couldn't get there on Friday like we were going to because customers and we had a flat tire that we had to get fixed. So we were trying to play nice with him, but he was not having any of it. He was kind of rude. But
We do detention fees at times. In this particular case, like she was saying, we were estimating, our estimated, and it's stressed, it was actually in writing, our estimated arrival was going to be Friday. We didn't make it Friday. We had to do a reset Saturday, and then Sunday we were finishing our runs. It was going to be late Sunday evening before we got to it. So because we were already later than our estimated arrival, we felt like it was only fair to give him a little bit of leeway. But you deal with customers like that that expect it all to be in their favor. When it's not in their favor, they get really upset and rude with you. But those are very few and far between. Most people are really decent, not hard to get along with.
my drink. He's got to get my drink. He's going to be blocked in. Anyways, what kind of pickups do we dislike in ops? Because we don't have a winch right now, so they're a whole lot of work, but they usually pay $200 to $300 better than everything else on the board, so they're worth it. And the kind that I like the best are probably dealerships, because they're always ready to go. Like, they have your check ready when you get there, you roll the car off, they sign the thingy because they've already seen pictures of it, so they really don't care. They give you your check and you leave. And they have a car wash on site, so they don't care that it's dirty, they just want their car.
They're professional, they're fast, they do it every day.
What's this channel? Hi, we're a car hauling channel. Nice to meet you.
The name of the channel is Trucking with Bones.
There was another. I don't care that you're calling me fat, honestly. Do people know what ETA means? No, they don't. And all of our contracts say within 10 days or within 2 days of a certain date, so we have a 5-day period. Like, we have 2 days before, the day of, 2 days after. God just called me fat. I don't care. I know I'm larger than normal. It's okay. I'm not. I don't care. Just get over yourself. Have a nice day. I'm sorry for whatever ruined your day, but you're not ruining mine too.
Let me get back to detention fees for a minute.
Yeah.
When we do those is when we have, you've called ahead, you've made your schedule, you get there, and let's say it's an in-op. It was forked on our trailer, and we've called ahead to make sure that they're aware we're going to be there and that it doesn't roll. You can't just roll it off the trailer. We say, hey, y'all need to have a forklift available or a rollback or some other way of unloading. We get there and they're not prepared. So we say, look, you've got 30 minutes that we would give you normally anyway, but beyond that, 30 minutes to an hour. Anything beyond that, we charge $100 an hour detention fee while we're sitting there. and we won't unload the car until that's been paid, or at least the contract has been updated to show that, depending on what the original pay contract said. So yes, detention fees or wait fees, whatever you want to call it, those are acceptable in this business. It's a case-by-case basis. There's no black and white. You just have to do your best to make a case-by-case judgment.
He's my dad. For everybody that wasn't here when we were only talking to 3 people, I'm his child. We're not married. I'm his kid.
Okay, you touch the screen and the questions pop up. I touch it and there's nothing. It doesn't like my finger.
When is Princess getting her own truck? I don't want my own truck. The only reason I'm going to get my CDL is 1, to help him have more driving time, and 2, once he comes off the road and I come off the road, if a driver abandons a truck or one of the other companies we have has a truck that goes down that they need a backup driver for, that'll be what I'm there for. But I don't want to just go drive on my own. That's not my aspirations in life. I'm a tech geek, and my aspirations in life are to open my own computer shop. But right now, I'm enjoying driving with my dad.
She runs my iPhone when I can't figure out how to do it.
The question that popped up and disappeared.
And yes, Michael, I did tell her that you said hi.
Like your videos from Oregon. Looks like you guys just persisted chatting. Why did that guy call you Princess G? Because that is my nickname. Paperwork Princess. Yeah, that happened because we have a driver group chat because we work with a whole lot of drivers, and we had a 10 driver group chat, and we were the only people that had 2 people in the truck at the time, and we were running a competition to see who could make the most money going East Coast to West Coast, right? We're trying to see who could have the best run East Coast to West Coast, and we held the record. Or no, somebody else held the record. We were going to beat it, which we did. We told them we were going to beat it, and we did, because we're good like that. But we were in the driver group chat, and somebody was all nervous.
A little bit here.
Somebody was nervous because there were 2 of us in the truck, and I was like, don't let little old me scare me. Little old me scare you. I'm just a paperwork princess. And it stuck. And, okay, so a few people on the channel have commented about my weight now. Why? Why do you feel the need to bring it up? Is it that important to you? Because it's really not to me. Phone's not big. Do not forget to Google Southern Shaker. He was out.
I'll make sure to do that.
Any problems with people paying the attention? Usually not. This guy, why? He's the guy that I've been talking to, the really cool one from Wyoming. Anyways.
Hey, we did miss snow. We came through Flagstaff like day and a half before they got 35 inches of snow. So we got a couple inches while we were there. Did our last reset.
Yes. Hypothetically, yes, it would be nice for a 6 car to get $3 a mile for all miles driven for the month. That's around what ours do. Ours are usually what, $2.80 to $3 a mile.
Yeah, our 7 cars are depending on. It depends on the run, depends on the trip, depends on where you're going. But if your goal is strictly to make the most money possible, you don't care where you go, you don't care what you haul, as long as it's legal and safe, then you can hit $2.80, $3 a mile on a 7-car trailer all day long. And that's for all miles driven. That includes your deadhead, which is extremely rare. Partial deadhead happens all the time. When you drop one vehicle, you go to the next location, pick another one up. So all miles driven at the end of the month, it's not difficult to hit $2.80, $3 a mile.
Ignore the trolls, yeah. I just want to know why it's so interesting to people. Like, I actually... Okay, well, thank you for the apology. But I honestly just want to know why it's that big of a deal to people. I actually don't weigh that much. So...
She's just fluffy.
Yeah. It's, thank you for the apology. I appreciate it. It takes a big person to apologize.
Yes, thank you.
And no hard feelings.
The last guy just disappeared that was commenting on it.
Like, it's okay. I realize that I need to lose some weight, and I'm working on it. I've lost 25 pounds since I've been out here on the road with him.
Hey James, how's it going up there in Canada?
Hey, is that the guy that called us the other day?
Good to hear from
Hi
you again.
again.
Not yet. She's got it scheduled for the 29th. Your CDL test.
It was
29th?
scheduled for the 25th of this month, but we're not going to make it in. And so now we're going to be in for March, some days, I don't know. Anyways, Monday, March 11th is in those days. So I rescheduled my test for Monday, March 11th, and if I don't pass it on the 11th, then I have to go back and retake the knowledge test, because if you have your CDL permit for more than a year and you don't pass the test, you have to go back and take the knowledge test again. I really don't want to have to do that, so. But we're going to be in for the few days leading up to it, and there's a big parking lot close to where we live. I love you guys too. I just saw that, sorry. There's a big parking lot close to where we live, which is where I drove the Mack off into the ditch and broke the bumper at. I was practicing for my CDL test then.
That was kind of bad. Big wide open parking lot, and she drove right off the edge of the ditch.
The ditch is okay, so I didn't realize how close I was to it, and the ditch is, in that parking lot, is what would be the line in the CDL test. And I thought the tire was just going to turn and like barely touch the edge of the ditch, and it turned and went into the ditch.
Yeah.
And then I tried to get myself out without calling him because I knew he was busy, and it just dug it deeper, so we ended up having to take not one but two semis over there to hook to the back of the Kaufman trailer to pull me out of the ditch, and then we moved me to the other side of the parking lot.
I had set the you know, when you're doing your alley dock, you pull in and there's a row of cones on the right side.
What is Super Chat?
Then you're backing along that line of cones and you back into the alley. Well, I just used the ditch as the line of cones, and that's on the off side of the truck where you can't really see it, so kind of my fault.
I'm looking up what Super Chat is because I have no idea what that is.
Hey, pay for it princes are nice to have. I've enjoyed having one along. Makes my job a lot easier.
Everybody wishes they had a pay for it princess because I'm just that awesome.
She is awesome. She does a
I
great
don't
job.
have that big of an ego, I promise, guys.
Hey, I am blessed. I really am. I have 6 kids, and my oldest son, went on the road with me till he got his CDL. Now he's in his own truck, and we have a family business. Most of my kids work with us. My wife works in the office. I have one son who is proudly serving in the United States Marine Corps. We miss him, but be glad when he's back. But it's a real blessing to get to work with your kids.
Thank you both for answering questions. You can tell you're really being genuine people. Thank you.
Button and live stream.
Okay. I was asking him, do we,
Hey,
we
like
use
cash. Yeah.
paper BOL because how old are you? He doesn't know.
I had to ask her the other day if I was 46 or 47. I couldn't remember because once I turned 18, got my license. Well, I actually got it at 16. Anyway, I didn't care. After that, I wouldn't worry about it anymore.
He's 46, guys. All right.
I'm 46, 6 kids, married in March will be 27 years, and I have 7 grandkids. Awesome little rugrats. The oldest one's only 5. Just turned 5 on Christmas Day. Best Christmas present I ever had.
And I'm 22 because I get that question a lot. And yes, I'm old enough to drive trucks because I also get that question a lot. We were going to put it on my shirt. It happens a lot. We use paper VOLs because he's a paper guy. If I had my way, we would use truck Shipio or just Shipio.
Car Shipio.
Car Ship.io. I like that app. It's amazing. And
Thank you.
Somebody asked him if he was a senior today, asking about discounts.
A senior discount. No, not yet.
If I had my way, we'd use Car Shipio because you can import all your central dispatch loads over into it, and I've heard that it just automatically fills out the top of the VOL for you, and then you fill it out, and then the person enters their email, and then it gets sent. There's not a bunch of paperwork to keep up with. But the company and Dad here are very paper-oriented people, so we just use paper VOL.
Senior people.
It's
a
rough.
senior thing apparently.
It's rough being a 22-year-old, guys. I think I'm the only person under 40 in the entire company. Actually, no. How old is Aaron? No. Never mind. I'm not. I got a boat, guys. I enjoyed you guys.
Hey, thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining us. Join us again next time. And thanks for the info about
subscribe if
Super
you haven't.
Chat. We'll check that out. You guys are advertising the trucks that need drivers or those lease purchases. Or
Either way, whatever your interest is, we just need drivers because we're looking to grow.
How long have we been running Car Hauler? He's been doing it for 4 years. I've been doing
5.
it for 9 months.
I started in
Actually,
14.
No, it's
No, started in 13. Sorry.
this month. It's a year. I've been on the road for a year at the end of this month. So, wow, it's a quick year. Do you carry paper logs? Yes, because you have to in case your e-logs stop working. It's a requirement of the FMCSA. It's on their website. You are required to have backup paper logs in case your whatever you're using jacks up. Like ours has, Big Road.
Right now.
It's-
Jacked up big time.
Get the tablet so we can show them. It's gonna be great, guys.
Yeah, y'all got to see this mess. This is I've never seen anything like it. We've got a case number. You should only have one
Driving,
line,
driving.
and it does.
And it does it doesn't
Well, that was
Oh,
just
look,
a
we're
little
in the
bit
red.
of personal conveyance we did today. Yesterday while we were driving, it was 2 feet of driving. It's just crazy.
do we hire Canada people? Sure, if you want to come drive in the US, I guess.
We don't have authority to run in Canada, so you'd have to work here in the States.
Anyways, he's running paper logs right now because our logs are jacked up. So you have to have paper logs in the truck, but we run Big Road. When we were in LS, we run Truck X, which I prefer over Big Road. It's easier, it's more user friendly, and it didn't have logs.
Almost no technical glitches whatsoever. It just works great.
A yard jockey would be a great job for me to learn how to back, but is the SIM card loose? It's a company-wide problem that we're having right now. Like, a bunch of people in our company are having problems with Big Road, and we called the Big Road guy, and he could see the problem, but he couldn't really do anything about the problem. So.
I will check the SIM card though. It's a great suggestion because it. What they said is it just keeps connecting and disconnecting, reconnecting, disconnecting over and over again.
Hello from the UK. It's nice to have UK viewers. I'm a fan of the UK. My aunt was stationed over there with the Air Force, so it's nice to meet you and thank you for joining us. Bones says that he is a very smart guy and does a lot of things. He wears a lot of hats.
Yeah, thanks.
We are halfway, well, almost halfway. 4 more subscribers and we're gonna have a party, guys. We're having a party at 500 subscribers.
Yeah, we got a present for Doggo. Where'd it go?
I don't know. Oh, it's up there in the floorboard. We got a present for the dog. Trucking isn't hard. Car hauling is hard because you have to work hard, but like regular trucking isn't hard. Okay. She gets this one at 500 subscribers. She gets this one at 1,000 subscribers.
So, the deal is, we're not doing this YouTube channel
No,
to make
I
money.
would die back down NYC, Alex. I would die. I can back up a truck, okay? I can do it just fine, and I can do the alley dock because I've done it 4 times on the practice pad where you take the test. I can't do it in front of the instructor to save my life. Like, as soon as I failed, I went and signed my paperwork, and she was like, okay, well, we don't have another test today because it canceled, so you can go out there and
Hey James,
practice
send
on-
me a text. I don't think I saved your number.
she was like, you can go out and practice on the pad. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went out there, and he was sitting out there in a car. He can tell you I nailed it 3 times in a row.
She did.
But when the
once the stress was
instructor
over.
is there, I cannot. It's just bad.
So back to the dog bones.
Yes, the dog is cute. She's right here. Come here. Come here.
So
Come here.
YouTube requires 1,000 subscribers to have your channel monetized, where you start getting
Her name is Doggo because we're
We
not
couldn't settle on
creative.
a name. Thought about calling her Little P for Princess, Little Princess. Dog doesn't really care. She's not excited about
She
it.
doesn't answer to dog. She answers, or she doesn't answer to a name. She answers to come. You say come, she's coming. She also answers to hey food and let's go for a walk and basically anything exciting like that.
So the whole dog bone thing is, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna start buying her some treats because it's just pennies. You don't make a lot off the ads at 1,000 subscribers, but that's entry level. And we're super excited. We're just having fun with this whole thing. We're out here, we're sharing our experience on the road, and got into it with just the idea of sharing, and then started doing a little research and found out you can actually make a little money off YouTube. And you know, money's cool. That's why we're out here driving, but we do this because we love it. I do it anyway because I love it. So
Thanks to
we
whoever
are
just
at
subscribed.
497 subscribers. So just 3 more and Doggo gets a treat.
Thunderstorm moving in here. Love you, Grandpa.
See you, Dad.
Super chat that we can donate to the dog.
There you go.
I'm gonna try to figure out how to set up super chat before the next time we do this. I'm reading about it right now. Thank you guys for the suggestion.
So we really do appreciate you guys sharing, you know, with your friends, and we appreciate you subscribing. We're just having a lot of fun. We're excited because we're up to 250,000 viewing minutes in the last 28 days. And I know in the world of YouTube, that's peanuts. But hey, we're at 498 subscribers. We're getting there. Doggo might get her treat tonight. But anyway, I know it's just peanuts right now in the world of YouTube, but we're having fun with it, and that's what life's about. Life's too short to be all serious about everything. So we're enjoying it. We're out here doing what we like to do, and really do appreciate you guys sharing and encouraging your friends to subscribe and share and send us a like. Hey, come join us,
Carling's
Lance.
fun, man.
Give us a call. Save my number. It's on my website.
Okay, so I just realized that 800 million people have asked me this question, and it is, what's it like working with your parent? It's literally just like
It's awesome.
it's literally just like growing up with your parent, except for when you work in the truck with your parent, there's no shutting a door when you're upset.
She can't go to her room and slam the door because her door's a curtain that
I
goes across the
never
house.
slammed my door. The good thing about the Volvo is when I need some space to chill, if I go all the way in the back of the truck while he's driving, we can't hear each other. He has to text me to tell me to come up front or call me to tell me to come up front.
That's why she misses the Volvo.
And someone just asked what was happening with the big sleeper. It's getting worked on, but not worked on. It's just sitting right now. They
It's
haven't
getting
started on it.
stored at a Volvo dealer. That's what's happening with it.
We miss it. We miss it even more now that it's really not that bad, because somebody made a comment about my size and being 2 people in this truck. It's not that bad to be 2 people in a truck this size. I promise you, it's really not. You just,
There's 2 beds, one up there and the one we're sitting on right now.
he has the lower bed because I'm afraid he'll break a hip if I make him climb up top.
In my age, if I fall off the top bunk, I'll break a hip. And then she'll have to do all the work.
Not
so
that
she's-
bad. What happens is, I come back here, and I come back here, close the curtain, get dressed for sleeping, change into my shorts and t-shirt, get up on the top bunk, roll over towards the wall, and let him know that he's good to come in. He comes back here, gets dressed for bed, gets in bed, and then tells me I'm good, and I roll over, and we talk for a few minutes, and then we go to bed. Sometimes we watch TV. In the big sleeper, he gets the big bed, and then there's a mattress that lays down on the floor, which is where I sleep. How
Right.
much weight does the big sleeper, where'd it go? How much weight does that big sleeper cost you? I think it's only like 2,000, 1,000, 2,000. It's not that bad.
It's actually the average semi truck, 17, 18,000 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. That truck, 26,000 pounds.
It's not
However,
that bad, is it?
yeah, here's the thing about car hauling. We're not 80,000 pounds unless you're on a Stinger. Like right now, we have a fairly large load. In fact, if you go back to overweight, the video I just put up last night, it'll show the load we currently have on here, and those are some pretty large, heavy vehicles. We're only, if We're only at like 67,000 pounds gross weight. 22,000 I think on the drive axles, 9,000 change on the steers, and 34,200 pounds on the trailers. Now we can rearrange that load just a little bit and get a little more weight shifted off the trailer axles onto the drive axles. But the only weight issue we ever have out here is trailer axles. So when you add 7,000-8,000 pounds to 67, you're still well under. We run in the mid to high 70s with the big sleeper Volvo. Now that's with a 7-car trailer. You never be able to maximize an 8 or 9-car trailer, and those trailers weigh up probably close to 5,000 pounds more than the 7-car does, plus your load.
8-car trailers weigh so much that we had a guy that, okay, we'll try. Anyways, we have a truck in our fleet that weighed with his 8-car in his normal truck, and he only weighed 1,000 pounds less. No, he weighed the same. He weighed exactly the same as we did with our big truck and 7-car, with his normal size truck and 8-car. And somebody earlier said that they used to drive Kenworth, and like, more power to you, but I absolutely hate this truck. I cannot stand it, so you can keep your Kenworths.
I found something I like about it though. My Volvo does not have a place to hang my headset. This truck does. The gear shifter, out there by your right knee, it's a perfect spot. Hang that headset. So Kenworth's got one thing I like about it.
Maximum height we can be 14 foot, right?
Yep, 14 foot.
UK person, I don't remember your name, I'm really sorry. Stuart, we can be 14 foot is our maximum height.
Y'all can be, what is it, 16 and a half feet tall over there? We take the roof off vehicles here if we were much over 14.
I feel your son, man. Some days I want to kill him, but other days I remember why it's so great to work with him.
Because I'm so awesome.
Alright, so I'm adopted, y'all, and he didn't raise me or really, yeah, I'm adopted.
She was 10 when we first met.
So I already had all my bad attitude problems when he got me, and he just learned to deal with it.
None of them are my fault.
He learned to deal with it, and he kind of made some of them go away. So
I'm blessed.
Cargo insurance, or 250,000, I think, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
So cargo insurance, good question. Really, really good question. It's really there's two ways to look at it. One, you can look at the minimum broker requirement,
which is $150,000.
$150,000. That's the minimum FMCSA requirement, if I'm not mistaken.
Most brokers
But broker requirements are dependent upon the size of trailer you're pulling. So for a wedge trailer, a 3-4 car trailer, $150,000 minimum is their requirement. However, you may run into an issue where a broker won't dispatch a load to you because you don't have enough insurance to cover the value of that specific load, in which case you can get what's called an umbrella policy or a small rider policy. The other way to look at it is, do you want to make sure that you are 16.5 in the UK? Man, that would be so nice.
I would be so nervous to pull a 16.5 trailer.
Anyway, on the cargo insurance, the smart thing to do is make sure that you've got enough coverage for whatever your load is. For a 7-car trailer like this one, $250 is the minimum to get a broker to send you a load, or even dispatch a single vehicle to you, because they know that you're going to have the rest of your trailer's going to be full. But you got to think about it. If you pick up a load of BMWs or Mercedes or some high-end vehicle, 250 is not going to touch it.
Go as high as you can go, because you would rather have too much insurance than not enough insurance. I assure you. We have 250 though. 250 is never going to pay. 250
will cover most loads you haul. Just beware that, you know, worst case scenario, you run off into a river and it totals every car on there, or your truck burns to the ground. Most wrecks are not going to total your entire load, but in the event that happens, would you be covered? And like I said, you can have an arrangement with your broker where you can call and add a small rider policy to your cargo to up the limit temporarily for a specific load. That way you don't miss a good paying load. It's quick and easy to add.
Yes. Very.
Yeah, James, call me back sometime. I'd like to hear from you again.
Alright, back to my phone for some more questions while you guys think some up.
9 plus tri-decker.
What's
So
a
you're saying you
tri-decker?
pull a triple stack, triple deck trailer?
Could you send
Pretty
me
awesome.
a picture of that? Because I
Yeah.
kind of want to see what it looks
Love
like.
to see a picture of that.
Okay, so we have a Facebook page. That's where I'm going to find these questions. Is it possible
It's been interesting to see the picture of the Volvo for those who haven't seen it. You just had it
with a one-car open?
up there. Yeah, it's possible.
It's
Yeah.
going to take you a really long time.
If you don't eat a lot and you're homeless and you don't have any house to pay for, because you're just not going to make much money on a one car.
Oh, jeez.
Entry level, if you really want to
wow.
be. This maximum length was 45 feet. 45 feet. Are you talking
Is
length
that
of the
truck
load?
Is that
or
truck
truck?
and trailer or just trailer?
So, the guy from the UK was just saying, for if you guys didn't see that, 45 feet maximum length. I'm curious as to what that is. Our maximum length here on the load in the states that actually pay attention to it is 60 feet. Some of them will require a permit to get over 53 feet because our trailers are allowed to be up to 53 feet, the fixed portion of them. But then we have flip outs, which is like a little hinged lid or door that flips out, but your tires can be on.
Just trailer.
And we also have hydraulic extending decks. So we can get our trailer out to about probably 60 feet long, total trailer
For
length.
anybody who hasn't seen our big Volvo, that's a very bad trailer. That's what our Volvo looks like. Okay.
And we miss it.
Alright, so I'm going to the YouTube page to read these questions. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay. Seat holders. Where are we out of? How much income can you expect yearly? $90,000 to $100,000
Now that's net to the driver.
to the
If you're an owner operator, really it's going to depend on the size of the truck that you're operating.
But he was asking for our company, like being a company driver for D-Line.
To be a company driver for D-Line, 90 to 110. It depends on your performance level. It depends on how often you go home, how much time you take it home. And the only thing that comes out of that pardon me, is your food out on the road. Or if you need to buy a new pair of boots or a jacket or a hat or whatever. Because we cover all operation expenses. You don't pay for fuel. If you're a company driver, we pay for everything.
Okay. Let's see. What type of equipment?
Let me finish answering this one car question real quick. You said
You did finish answering him.
no, not quite.
He likes to listen to himself talk.
Yeah. It's best. It's a 3-car minimum. 3-4-car wedge is the entry level that I would recommend if you truly want to be able to take home a decent paycheck. Otherwise, you might be better off working at a factory that's a good paying hourly job as far as your gross income within a month. Because a 3-4-car wedge trailer, we typically see $15,000 to $17,000 a month as an average income to that trailer for for the sorry, I got sidetracked. For somebody who is not picky about where they go or what they haul, somebody who's willing to work hard, 15 to 17,000 on a 3-4-car wedge, and that's before you pay for your fuel, your truck payment, your insurance payments, any of those things. And then you work your way up from there, depending on the size of like a decent 5-car trailer is going to be about a $25,000 a month maximum. That doesn't mean there's not somebody out there that has beat that number, but between 20 and 25 is what we typically see from our dispatching department. A 7-car trailer or bigger should be in the 30+ thousand range gross monthly for an owner operator before any expenses. And I will be right back while she's reading off some of these other questions.
Yeah, you're gonna make it. Okay. Do we take out taxes? No. You get a 1099 at the end of the year. You're an independent contractor. We do not take out taxes. what kind of equipment? New or lightly used trucks and trailers?
And
Someone
we
just
run-
asked what kind of engine we have. We have a
It's a D16 in our big
Are
old
you
Volvo.
asking about the Volvo or the Kenworth? Because the Kenworth has a Cummins in it.
Volvo has a D16.
No, it doesn't have any after treatment after treatment
does.
issues. It runs. It's not ours.
No.
This one. It runs a regen whenever it needs it, and has never given us a problem. So that's the only part of this truck that's never given us a problem. No, we do not have retirement or medical insurance.
We try to pay just really, really well to compensate for the lack of official benefits. It's good money, but no retirement.
So wait till we get off tape. That was the last question.
I did have, when I first got the Volvo, I had to clean the DEF filter.
And by he had to clean it, he means I had to clean it while he walked around and talked to people at the shop.
We did our own cleaning.
We're still in Oregon. I'm not going to tell you guys where because I have issues preventing that. I have
Sorry
a
about the
stalker.
cough drop.
I have a stalker, guys. I was going to eat, but I guess I'll wait. I don't really have a stalker. What would you classify him as? A stalker.
Somebody to avoid.
Yeah. We're avoiding somebody, which is, if you haven't noticed, why our videos are on a few day delay. And we're still in Oregon, though, so. Good night, Eric. Thanks for joining us. We'll definitely do it again soon.
Thanks, Eric. So any more questions? Glad to either make something up or give you the answer.
They don't all have to be about car hauling, guys. We answer personal questions, too. We've answered all of them in there.
Just scrolling back through to make sure we didn't miss anybody's questions. Yes, Lance, we are definitely blessed.
You tired? Doggo went to sleep. Are you chewing on my hat? No, okay. She's cuddling with my hat.
Well, guys, if there's no more questions, we're going to call it a night, and we'll see you next time.
I'm just listening. We rant a lot. You don't want to just listen.
498 subscribers, guys. Dog is about to get her bone.
I don't know. Ask us questions, guys. 'Cause I'm not good at making them up.
All right,
499. We're
well,
almost there.
499.
If one more person wants to subscribe, we'll just party with you guys still on here.
Yeah, we'll give her bone right here.
One more subscriber and the dog gets her little treat bone thing.
Well, guys, we're going to call it a night, but we will video her getting her bone. And
Is there a state or part of the country you like to avoid running? Florida.
in Florida.
We can't run in Florida with our big truck. And if you want to get somewhere in a hurry, don't go to California because there's no hurries there.
One of those stupid law states where they got the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit for trucks. Or
Um,
even a Volkswagen Bug pulling a trailer 55 miles an hour.
No, honestly, like, we don't make a habit of saying we won't go here, we won't go there. I'm the dispatcher for the truck first off, so he's just going to go wherever the load is dispatched to go.
I do what I'm told.
We pull up to, he doesn't have anything to do with the dispatching or the paperwork, so we'll pull up somewhere and he'll be like, all right, what are we getting here? What do I need to move? He just doesn't know until we get there. We don't make a habit of saying we won't go places other than Florida because we can't get our big truck in there, but we don't make a habit of saying we won't go places because that's when you start not making as much money.
Our motto is follow the money and haul what pays. And as long as that's your motto, you'll go to any state. There's two reasons I don't like Florida. Number one is they won't let me in the state with my truck, with the big sleeper truck, because they got a 75-foot rule. You got to get a permit and you can get up to 80 feet. I'm 83 feet long, or 83 and a half feet long, with no overhang off the back of my trailer, which means I can't pull a full load. So why go? I can't get in there anyway because I'm over 83 feet long. So the other reason I don't like Florida is it's cheap freight. You can get good stuff going in. The only time of year you get decent freight coming out of Florida is in the spring when the snowbirds are going back north. And then it's hot, muggy, mosquitoes, fire ants, and it's all flatland, and I love the mountains. So, but yes, I have run Florida. I just can't do it with the Volvo.
Welcome back, Jeebus. Do you have any questions for us? Because we're about to sign off.
Hey, thanks, Lance, for sharing the channel around. We do appreciate
We
it.
appreciate that. Yeah. Can we start doing this every Saturday night? We can start doing this every Saturday night if we have enough to talk about, except for when we're home.
She's always got enough to talk about.
We probably shouldn't do this when we're home because the family likes to spend time with us and not us on our YouTube channel. But Saturdays that we're on the road, we can do this. You
Hey,
talk
guys.
more than I do.
Thanks for joining us. We really, really do appreciate the support. Doggo's going to love her bone with one more subscriber. And then when we hit the 1,000 mark, she gets the big bone. Car hauling, already done it. I've hauled heavy equipment, but only because I was a heavy equipment operator, owned my own construction company. And I've moved my own heavy equipment around. But as far as commercially, a little bit of boat hauling back when I was a boat mechanic. But as far as out over the road, just cars.
I worked at Chick-fil-A before I had this job and cooked chicken, so I've never hauled anything else other than cars.
I don't think I could do the 12-hour detentions at a dock. I get bored just backing up to a dock and sitting there waiting. I like to get out. I like to handle the load. I like the challenge of trying to make.
Doggo, you get a treat.
Hey, 500 subscribers.
501. We get to have a party now. Can you hand me the bag? We got to 500 subscribers, so now we get to make Doggo happy. Come here. I'm trying to get the dog in the camera. What's the fanciest car we've pulled? Ferrari. Come hither, Fairchild. This is my child, everybody. Her name's Doggo because we couldn't decide on a name. Seriously, what? Oh yes, seriously, we've hauled more than one Ferrari doggy. Look at that face of happiness. She goes away with the bone.
Yeah, like off my bed.
That's her pillow. Okay, can you see her? She's in love with the bone. What kind of dog is she? She's a pit bull. Come here. I'll draw her to the camera with her bone. Come here. She's a pit bull.
She's a rescue from a kennel.
Yeah.
We've only had her for
And you
what,
can tell
month
she's
and a
a
half?
kennel dog because she is afraid of it.
She's afraid of any kind of height over about 3 feet because she's always just been on a flat concrete floor.
I'm gonna need you to eat that off the bed, actually.
Yes, please.
Sorry. Well, we're gonna sign off. Good night, guys. Do you guys have other drivers working for you? Yes.
Yeah, we're running about 22 trucks right now
The dog's getting off
with
the bed.
D-Line, and then we have we also work with a couple of other car hauling companies. Not to mention the ones we provide dispatch service for, but we actually work closely with a couple of others where we provide a lot of technical support and send drivers their way that are interested.
Love you too, Grandma. Sorry. Oh, she took her mess. When I left the car, transporters, and went back to the general. No, he's just the, he's not the owner. He's
No, I don't
the
know.
general manager. I couldn't reverse for the life of me, so keep hauling. You don't have to back up in car hauling. It's a forward batting truck. Like, it's forward. It's a forward playing sport. And
Yeah, it really is.
I think there should be a different test for car haulers, but there's not. I only hold that opinion.
The most backing we ever do is
5 years, 1 year.
I'm fairly new to it. I spent 22 years in emergency services. I was a paramedic, law enforcement, coroner, firefighter. That was my career, and enjoyed it, but was ready to do something different. So I'm doing something different. I'm loving it. A little bit less stress. Yeah, I love.
It's his favorite part of the week.
I'd prefer to be in a saddle, riding a horse, but since I can't bring my horse with me, I love hiking in the mountains. Just love seeing this beautiful country.
We have a new video coming out. You 18 people watching us get to be the first to know about it. We went to see an old penitentiary today, because that's what I'm a history nerd. I'm a nerd, guys. Alright, I'm not just a one subject nerd. But I like going to historical places, so we went to an old prison today and got to do a tour, and I think, did you take videos?
We got videos and a lot of pictures, and I'm going to be working on putting that up later this evening.
I did not take any videos because I was busy talking to someone important in my life, and yeah, so.
Her. Someone important.
Yeah, my someone important.
Yeah.
Is it weird?
Train fuel tells me. Yeah.
What type of horse do you have?
At
We
the
don't right
moment,
now.
I don't, because out here on the road I'm not home. But I had quarter horse, and I've ridden from Kentucky to Alabama, all the way across the state of Tennessee in one ride, and done a lot of other overnight rides. Like I said earlier, when I was about 12 years old, my dad got me hooked on Louis L'Amour, and then from there it was basically any Western I could pick up. And I just absolutely love the West. Louis L'Amour talks about the magnetic pull the West has for guys that have been out here. I say guys and gals both.
Yes, he's married.
It's
Yes, he's married.
27 years come March. Wait, it's not March yet, is it?
No.
Okay, almost March. I can't miss my anniversary.
It's a month from yesterday.
Yeah.
A month from yesterday.
27 years married. Happily. Love my wife. She's a saint for putting up with me.
Wow, that's incredible.
41 years.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Michael. Anyway, yeah, I love riding. Absolutely love it. As I drive down the road out here through these mountains, I'm always looking off at them, thinking what it'd be like to be on a horse, looking at those, riding down those trails I can see up on the side of the mountain. Just that's the way I look at a mountain. That's the way I'm viewing it. Is between a horse's ears as I'm driving down the road, looking past the steering wheel. I know it's crazy, but you got to be a horse lover to understand it.
What are you doing? Get out of the trash.
And I'm Western style. I don't like the English style of riding. I'm boots and jeans and cowboy hat and real Western and just everything the way I
21 years military, way less stress. I don't think my younger brother would agree with that. But, I mean, hey. You must try Icelandic. What is that?
A horse.
Uh,
Yeah. I've seen them on YouTube.
Is that
I'd
that
love to.
giant one? Like really tall ones? Ever seen Lonesome Dove?
Yeah,
No.
I have.
I've never even heard of it.
She has missed so much in life of the classics. She's like, what? What's that?
I've also never
Yeah.
seen The Shawshank Redemption.
I'm embarrassed, guys. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
many of the classics she's never seen. If it's Batman, she can tell you everything about it. Any kind of superhero movie, she knows all the details.
I own every Batman comic except for 5. Like every Batman comic ever made except for 5. And whatever's been made since I've been out here, because
I keep popping whip. Keep her busy.
y'all, when you grow up in a not so great home, comic books and like make-believe superhero places are really good places to go, other than like actual reality. Grandma,
48 years.
show
My
us
mom
all
and
up. Dude, I'm gonna be lucky to find someone who can put up with me for 5 years. It's legal to bury your truck in some states, so I'm just gonna move to one of those states. Any more questions? While we embarrass ourselves?
Hey guys, really again, we do appreciate you signing up. We hit the halfway point. We
Yeah, man.
yep, just glad you're now saved. I hear you there.
So there is.
Sometimes in the past couple of
That
years.
pass this time did not require us to chain up. I was so excited, but there was some Jeep that drove off the road, and there was traffic backed up for like 2 hours because everybody wanted to stare at the Jeep.
Yeah, it was bad traffic. The road was in great shape. 8-foot snowbanks on both sides. Just beautiful. Love driving through it. And the last time we went through there, we had to chain up, which is a pain in the butt, but it's doable.
Okay, so I was about to get on your website, truckingwithbones@gmail.com. Send us questions, and if we get enough, we can do this again next week. The dog is about to unplug it.
Good job, doggo.
Alright, the dog wants our attention.